At this point, you've had a chance to check out the 2 previous slides for our final assessment resource kit. I want to talk a little bit first about the purpose of this assignment, and then we'll review a little bit of that information. And the next several slides and videos are going to go over each column of your final assessment and resource kit. So hold on, let me give you a little bit of an overview, and then we'll deal with that first column. First of all, the purpose of this assignment is a summative assessment of your learning from this course. But more importantly, I want it to be something you will use. I think as an instructor, I often will ask my students or give time in class to go through all of the materials and the Blackboard modules and my slides and resources, and really encourage students to save those for use in the future. Teachers are key users of and really clearinghouses of information for good resources. It's not a matter of where you could be caught flat-footed and someone say, what resource would you use for this? And you would have it memorized. You need to have a literal toolkit full of evidence-based strategies, methods, resources, and frameworks for all of the different things that happen and all of the things that you'll come across. So that's what I'm hoping this does as a dual purpose, both a final summative assessment and as a resource for you to use in the future. So I'm hoping this is something that you will keep, not necessarily print, but keep on your Google Drive with all of the links live and available for you to use. So you've taken a look at the previous slides. The first slide has you make a copy of the Google Doc. It's a forced copy of the document, and it specifically lets you know, and it's a good idea to have that up right now while you are looking at these and viewing these videos. The first slide, I want to remind you, told you that in this first column that's gray, you don't have to input anything in that column. That's simply what organizes our document and our learning and your application of that. And then it also lets you know that any cell that is shaded in yellow or any prompt that is bolded in the other columns is where you need to put input. We need your input if it's bolded prompt or a label or a yellow shaded cell. So I hope that clears things up for you a little bit. And then the other previous slide was the slide that shows the point breakdown. This is a 100-point assignment, so it is weighty for your grade for this course, but also I hope stresses the importance of keeping, using, and knowing the resources that we can use to help all learners in our classrooms. So I want to take a look now at just this first column that I've highlighted on this slide. My next few slides will go over the other columns, but just this first column, it's the column far to the left that's shaded in gray. The good news is you don't need to input anything in that gray column, in the column to the far left side. That is simply our 12 sections of the assignment that organizes our learning. And I want to tell you a little bit about those. The first couple, the first one, 4 or 5, are categories and objectives and learning that as a department, as a university, and as a national teacher preparatory organization, we have decided is essential learning for candidates for special education teachers or general education teachers. Those include knowing the approaches to learning and performance evidence-based practices, characteristics of learners for 5 of the educational disability categories, appropriate modifications or accommodations and supplemental aids for different disability categories, especially for use in the gen ed setting, and then instructional strategies appropriate to the student's stage of development strengths and needs. Those are the big ones. Those are the ones worth 10 points. And those are, I think, the first 8 sections along the left side. I reviewed our learning. I reviewed my feedback to you and your assignments. I reviewed your questions and our discussion boards. And there are 4 sections towards the bottom that I added that I feel are important locally and to this group of learners in my higher education classroom. The last 4 sections are worth 5 points, and those include IEP resources, family engagement strategies or frameworks, ableism or advocacy resources, and then the last one is one additional connection that you've made in this class that is important to you. There's more details coming on that in the further slides, but I'm hoping that helps frame your learning, organize our learning, and relieve you a little bit that in that column to the far left, the gray column on the far left, needs no input from you.